We anticipate these maps will completely neuter and neutralize what is happening in Texas. This does not go forward, I want to remind everybody, unless one of these other states move forward. There's still an exit ramp, not just Texas, but Missouri, as I mentioned, or Florida, Indiana, and these other states that are considering doing the unprecedented, rigging their elections with midterm redistricting. So we're hopeful they don't move forward. If that's the case, this effort will not be necessary, but we're not waiting and we're not anticipating that these states will be passive, particularly with the directive coming from President Donald Trump. With that, we're happy to answer any questions.
So you said a moment ago, President Trump is underwater on the economy. He's underwater on immigration. Historically, midterms are very bad for the party in power, Bush, Clinton, Obama. Why not put this effort? You could win some of these seats in Texas. If this is a wave election, you could win 40 seats. Would you look back on this as a wasted effort?
Quite the contrary. I mean, 5 seats is a magic number. 2020, 5 seats. Flipped 5 seats, 2022. It's 3 seats right now. He knows the margin of error. It was very specific. He wanted 5 seats. He was very specific when he assigned J.D. Vance not to go to the memorials and funerals of people who lost their lives in the floods in Texas, but rather to spend the time in Indiana to try to rig the elections in Indiana and redistrict there. He knew exactly what he's doing as it relates to Florida. So this is not just about Texas. This is about running away with this system and rigging it midterm. So we're not going to sit back passively, hoping that somehow conditions align with those that are living with, I think, a pre-existing condition that somehow everybody's playing fair. Donald Trump does not play fair. You've seen that happen over and over again, and it's I'm just not going to sit back and be complicit. I don't think the people in the state of California are going to be complicit this November and watch this system get rigged and watch our democracy fail.
Does the trigger go into place if any Republican state does this?
Yes.
And are you confident that you have all the votes in the legislature and this is going to pass?
Well, I have the confidence of legislative leadership. A number of them are assembled here today, including the Speaker and the Pro Tem that were at a press conference last week, and they have confidence in their caucuses. We've been working closely with the caucuses in both houses for some time, and we believe we'll have the 2/3 to allow the people to decide for themselves.
Governor, if Trump is doing this, he's not going to stop with Texas. Are you calling on other blue states to do this now?
I think you got to meet fire with fire. I mean, this is a break the glass moment for our democracy, for our nation. The world's watching us, and so absolutely. Again, it's look, identifying a problem is one thing. You got to do something about it. So this is about action, and that's what we're doing here in California. It's about resolve. It's about how. It's not about should we meet fire with fire. It's about how we actually achieve it, and so that's my hope and my expectation that other states will follow suit.
There was an
just in terms of what you were just talking about, I mean, what is the Democrats' endgame here? Because Republicans do have more options for redistricting in states like Ohio, Indiana, Missouri, and there are a lot bigger legal hurdles for Democrats in states like New York, New Jersey. I mean, what is the endgame? Do you feel like you can win this?
We got to win. I mean, democracy's counting on us. I mean, the founding fathers did not live and die to see this moment, and so there's just too much at stake. And we can roll over and say, boy, maybe if we don't, they won't continue this process well beyond Texas. You know for a fact they will. They'll run up the score regardless. At least California could push back and neutralize Texas. And once a mind is stretched, it never goes back to its original form, the power of emulation. Success leaves clues. If we're successful in November, I imagine other states may consider their own paths. Some could happen as late as January, some could happen earlier. Many states have not dissimilar independent redistricting commissions. They could take a look at exactly how we process this and how we approached it. Other states are differently situated. But look, end of the day, we're just, they count on us to continue to say one thing and do another. That's what's different about this. We're not just asserting ourselves we're going to prove ourselves this November.
There was an ICE immigration action.
Counties in California to say that the state can't afford this. The registrar in Riverside County said it's going to cost $16 million for special election. What's your response?
Well, the state of California is going to fund that. And that's what the bill's all about. So, yes, it's deeply disingenuous.
We've got the money, we're going to do it.
No price tag for democracy. And this individual should know, as he's a what?
The registrar of voters.
He should know the rules. Imagine that's a job description as well. The state will be funding it.
Governor, there was an ICE.
Have you spoken with Governor Schwarzenegger about your proposal?
I had a chance to dialogue with the governor. As you know, as someone that opposed very publicly attempts to roll back independent redistricting, that voted for them in the first place, I share his vision. And I've made that clear publicly, and I've made that clear to him privately. And that's why it was important to talk to him specifically about the fact that we're affirming our independent commission, and we're calling for a national independent commission as well.
Could you speak to the ICE action outside the news
Well, I think
conference?
it's pretty sick and pathetic. And it just said everything you need to know, the setting that we're under. That they chose the time, manner, and place to send their district director outside right when we're about to have this press conference. Said everything you know about Donald Trump's America. And that was top down. You know that for a fact. They'll deny it, I'm sure. Maybe they won't deny it. Said everything you know about the authoritarian tendencies of the President of the United States. I said in a moment ago, wake up, America. Wake up. You will not have a country if he rigs this election. You will have a president who will be running for a third term. Mark my word. I wasn't exaggerating when I said that I received in the mail a Trump 2028 hat from one of his biggest supporters. These guys are not screwing around. The rules do not apply to him. The most corrupt president in history. Doesn't believe in free enterprise, crony capitalism. He is wrecking this country, wrecking the economy. He's a lawless president. Wake up, America. Wake up to what's going on.
For the members of Congress here, we know that Congressman Kiley has suggested that this is a bad idea for everybody. Obviously, he could end up losing his job, so he's interested in this. But are there other Republican members that are maybe saying, this is not a good idea, that they're uncomfortable with this whole concept? What are you hearing behind the scenes from your colleagues?
So Kevin Kiley miraculously came up with this piece of legislation because he realized that his district was in question. That's about as self-interested as you can be. B, my colleagues will confirm this, we had our weekly call with our Democratic caucus, and every single one of them was grateful that California was stepping up and fighting fire with fire. They said, can you lean in anymore? Because we need a playbook for how we can fight in our states. The governor is correct. Florida is now in play, Indiana is in play, Missouri is in play, Ohio is in play. And not only are they working to gerrymander the maps to give Republicans more seats, but they are also doing it to silence Latino representatives and to get rid of African American representatives. So it is not only a classist playbook, but it is a race-based playbook, because they know who the folks are who show up and who are voting to keep Planned Parenthood, to keep health care, to make sure that costs are down, to make sure that we have jobs, to make sure that we have manufacturing. So yes, Republicans are now crying foul, but they were not crying foul when they voted for the big ugly bill. They were not crying foul when they voted to defund Medicaid, when they voted to get rid of Social Security, when they have supported every single thing and have been complicit with every single unlawful, illegal, unconstitutional thing that this president has been doing. And they have been silent. So don't give me your crocodile tears when all of a sudden you want to come up with a piece of legislation that says slow your roll. How about passing the John Lewis Voting Rights Act? How about calling out Governor Abbott? How about calling out what this president is doing? If you are so excited about what you've been doing in the past 7 months, then run on that record. But please do not come for California, and do not come for the voters, because the voters should have the right to vote for who they want to, not to be given, shoved down their throats, some janky maps designed to keep this president in power. So, folks are united. Folks are asking California to lean in and do more. And we're saying we are giving you all that we've got. And we are standing with our governor. And we are asking other states to step in and find a way to do it as well, because this is not just about California. This is about this entire country.
If I can just quickly respond to that. For a decade, Sue Lofgren has led us, I've joined her, in legislation to require every state to have a redistricting commission. Kevin Kiley never joined us until now.
For any of the members of Congress,
Reclaiming my time. Let me just say, first of all, this press conference that we had today, led by our governor, is the kind of leadership that's going to determine the direction of this country. I am very pleased that Governor Newsom is providing the leadership not only for California, but for the rest of this nation, who are all upset about the chaotic situation that we're in this country. Let me just say that we here in California have witnessed the President of the United States sending in the National Guard, sending in the Marines to deal with what problem? There is no problem about danger and violence. Of course, there is some opportunities for ICE and others to say that they are doing what they need to do, what should be done, but they cannot continue to be masked in vans, pulling people off the street, intimidating people, going into supermarkets and other places where they are trying to identify those that they think should be deported. Now, what I think America should be focused on is this really a national effort of the President of the United States, particularly pointed toward Latinos and African Americans in particular, whom he hates? I want you to know that while we're talking about California, just yesterday, the President of the United States literally federalized the police in Washington, D.C. We know why he's doing this. As a matter of fact, they were in front of Whole Foods last night asking black people for their identification. He's trying to provoke us, but we're smarter than that. We're not going to be provoked. We're going to fight him, but we're not going to allow him to draw us into the kind of provocation that will cause us to be shot down in the streets of our country. We know that this president would love to call martial order and to say that he's protecting the citizens against us, those that he had deemed are part of DEI, diversity and inclusion and all of that. But what you heard today was California organized. What you heard today was our Citizens Commission is prepared to work with us to ensure that we do it the right way. The governor has described, I think, in very detail how we're going to make sure that the people of California, the people, are going to make the decision. I want you to know the Democratic Caucus of California, we are organized, we're ready, and we're working with the governor. And we are not only organized, but we are prepared to move in a way that will include all of the people in this decision that has to be made. Texas may be big, and people may think that they got power. They ain't seen nothing yet. They haven't seen what happens when we get organized here in the state of California. Let me just wrap this up by saying, I warned this country long before people understood how dangerous he is. This man is dangerous. Not only is he using executive orders by which to try and rule and disregard the legislature, the judiciary, and all of that. The fact that he has intimidated private law firms going into our financial institutions and intimidating them shows you that you have what would want to be a dictator in this country. And so I am very pleased to be here today. Everybody knows I ain't scared of nobody. never have been, and never will be. And I will do everything that I can to use my leadership and my influence working with the governor to ensure that California takes their playbook and play it back on them. Thank you very much.
I just want to add one point, and I think it is central to why our democracy is in trouble, and that is that our economy has simply not been working for millions of Americans. And the problem we have today is not the same problem we had during the Great Recession when people were out of work. The problem today is not that people are out of work. The problem today is that they are working and they can still barely get by. Young people can't afford a place to live. People can't afford their health insurance premiums. Food prices continue to go up, as do energy costs. And this is why I think we're struggling as a country. When people see the quality of life that their parents enjoyed is better than what they have, all too many are eager or willing to entertain any demagogue who comes along promising that they alone can fix it. The problem is, he is not fixing it. This is not the right answer. He is not fixing it. Our lives are simply getting more difficult as the American people. Costs continue to rise, and his policies have been an abject failure. The tariff wars, we're only beginning to feel the cost increases that are resulting from his tariffs. He is deeply unpopular, and rather than trying to improve the lot of the American people and address these economic challenges, instead he's decided the only way he can maintain his grip on power with his increasing unpopularity is by trying to redraw the lines in another state. And this is why California has to fight back. He is never going to take meaningful action to deal with the ordinary challenges facing Californians or the American people. He wants to instead redraw the lines in Texas to keep him in power and keep those deeply unpopular failed policies moving forward. But we are determined here in California to stop him.
Thank you, everyone. We are out of time.
Can you react to what's going on with those posts on X that are clearly trolling the president? Can you just talk about that? Is that like a strategy?
I don't know. I hope it's a wake-up call to the President of the United States. I'm sort of following his example. If you've got issues with what I'm putting out, you sure as hell should have concerns about what he's putting out as president. So to the extent it's gotten some attention, I'm pleased. But I think the deeper question is, how have we allowed the normalization of his tweets, True Social posts, over the course of the last many years to go without similar scrutiny and notice?
Thank you, everyone. We are out of time. Thank you so much. Thank you, Governor. If press could just hold here, press, please hold. Press, please hold. Just give us just a moment. Thank you so much. Okay, press hold at the stairs, please. One moment. Good job right there under pressure. Oh, God, you're very nice. Thank you. Yeah. Or no? Yeah, thank you.